When love is at the center of everything we do, it shapes and reshapes every word we speak, every action we take, and even the way we see things. You may be a single hoping to get married to build a home. This book, titled Red Chocolate, can be a guiding manual. Greetings to you all. I'm so excited to know that you have chosen CRTV News to watch the book with me, Susan Bell. And of course, I'm so happy, glad to have you, Leslie BAYA, on my set today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Susie. Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay. In school, you were science inclined, but today your passion for writing is fast growing. What accounts for this?
I have to give the thanks to my dad, who made us grow with that habit of reading. I started reading when I was very young. I and my twin brother, because I'm a twin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we grew up with this habit of reading. And my dad too he's a very passionate reader. So we grew up reading, and I started loving novels, reading books. So for me, it was always leisure, my free time. I loved reading.
So which is that book that that you still remember, or that was actually mind-blowing that you remember till date? Can you recall?
Let me talk about like Robert Greene. I've read so many of his books. Like I'll talk about the 48 Laws, and I remember my novels too. I've read when Rain and Cloud Gathers. And a couple of books, so many books that I can't start naming here that really that are many, but I had that habit of reading. For me, I even read things that I did not understand.
Okay.
But for me, even reading at that time was like punishment too for our dad, who used to punish us to read. And when you read, you will say what you read, you understood. So we will read and jot down, because we knew that he would ask questions concerning what we read. So for us, it was like a punishment, like you have to read. It was a timetable. Each week, you had to read the book, or if it's not books, it's by the Bible, because I grew up too in a very religious home where we read a lot of articles. So that's how I developed the love for reading. At that time, I didn't really understand how it meant for me. And things that I read when I was still young, it's when I actually grew that I started, the scenes started coming to me. But for me, it was actually stressful, like difficult for me, and I looked at that. For me, it was punishment. That's why.
And today, I think that your parents are proud of you.
They're proud of me.
Okay, how many books have you published so far?
This is my first book.
Oh,
this is my first book, and actually, I do write articles. I do write things. I write a lot on social media. I took comments a lot on social media. And I kept receiving the comments, you go, please, why don't you try writing a book? And why do you do this? It will be interesting. So I envisaged that. I started seeing that as an option. And I thought about it. And I just wanted something to inspire me to do it, something to push me to do it.
Okay.
And I did it.
Okay, you've drawn inspiration, from the stories of others and equally yours to be able to publish Red Chocolate. Tell us more about it.
Red Chocolate, to me, it's a personal story. It's a very intriguing story. It's full of, it's very personal to me, because actually the book is inspired from my own story too. So to me, it was jotting down the shortcomings, the mistakes, the pains, the joy, and the hard times, on the times it takes to catch someone who is actually dear to you. Someone who is special, and someone who you can spend your life with. So for me, it was an experience. It was me talking to people. It was me sharing my experience.
Okay.
And through my experiences, I didn't just say my experiences. I said it how it should be. So it may not be the word to word how it happened in my own story, but there I'm giving the lessons how it would have been. Like if I make a mistake on this, I would like to say how it would have looked like if things were different, if things were done like this. And that's why it makes it an intriguing and a very romantic story.
We should tell our viewers that it's a love story.
It's a love story.
It's your love story.
It's part of my love story. I This part of my story. I got inspired from my own story. Some things I have passed through, so it can only be that.
The title Red Chocolate, how did it come about?
Red chocolate, actually, it's a name I gave her because red normally is danger. Red too can represent the colors of love. To me,
It only represent life.
it can represent
Blood
life.
is red, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the chocolate for me, it goes to the purity of chocolate,
Sensuality.
the tastelets, the sense, that, and the process. I mean, the manufacturing process of chocolate. Because normally and the process is not always sweet.
Okay.
We have to undergo some processes, and it depends on how you do it, and you can put it on your own taste. You can make it sweeter or bitter.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yes, we're going to continue with our discussion. Yeah. First, we need to take the forward, and Mr. Ewan Walters Tang is on standby.
In this novel, Leslie seeks to share his experience, his cultural, philosophical thoughts in this love relationship, which exercises resilience, commitment, humility, tolerance, and what have you. So we want to call on young people who are looking forward to getting a life's partner, that these are the virtues that you look for in your life partner. Looking for that woman who is tolerant, or that man who is tolerant, that man who is committed, or that woman who is committed. That's where you know those who are serious. And that is what makes a marriage stick. We don't get into marriage. It's a whole institution. You don't get into it and you come out tomorrow like it has become, or it is en vogue now, that you have divorces all around the place. It takes this commitment which Leslie is trying to portray here. It takes tolerance. It is a long road of perseverance for you to get a life partner that you are looking for, or that you deserve. Get a copy of this book and learn from Leslie. Share what Leslie has for you, and I think you will not regret it. You have something that will keep your relationship intact. We are looking for relationships that last, and not relationships that are just in and out.
You're welcome back. Of course, we are talking about love. When it comes to love, I always like smiling. And you can see my guest too. He's all smiles. Well, now tell me, your love story is such a fascinating one. Getting the attention, the care, and the love of the woman dear to your heart wasn't an easy task. Why do you think you had all the rejection that you had in wooing her?
For me, anything that is different is difficult to get. I always believe that things that are
Nothing good comes easy.
Nothing good comes easy. So for me, there are the challenges or the different steps I had to go through to be able to get her. So no matter how difficult it was, my target never changed. I instead grew stronger. It motivated me the more, and I understood that was the right one for me, because it was difficult. And for me, anything that's difficult is the good thing.
The hard times she gave you would have been a very strong reason for you to run away,
Yeah.
but you kept on wooing her. I just want to know, what is it that you saw in her that led you to not quit easily?
There are things we cannot explain. There are things that we see and just spark in our eyes. There are things that we just can't explain, but she was different. For the first time, I never thought of getting married in life. The idea has never come to my mind. So in my book, I make you understand that people can actually come into your life and they change the ideas that you have. They change how you see things, your perceptions of marriage and things. You will never say you can't do this till you meet somebody who gives you reason to do it. So that's actually what happened.
Okay.
I see she was different.
Okay.
She was different.
You know, I want to ask you this question before we move to the other slot. Maybe a quick response to it. Why are some people not patient? I'm talking about men most especially. Why are they not patient when they are wooing a woman? You know, does this not show that these men often have selfish motives?
I'm talking like a guy now. I'm talking like a guy. I know a girl that I will see, she flashes in my eyes and I want to get her.
You want to
It depends on the motivations we have.
Okay.
So that's why in my book I talked about personal, somebody you see, someone you didn't just want to girlfriend, let me put it that way.
Around with.
Yeah, to play around with. So it was somebody you envisage, you want to you envisage getting working on a long time project or a lifetime project with. Okay. So it was different.
Okay.
And to me, that was enough reason for me to persist or continue being patient.
Okay. We are now going to take our vox pop, and this is the question. Will you marry a wealthy person, man or woman, for convenience, or you will marry a poor man or woman for love?
I'll marry a poor man for love, because a poor man will value you. A poor man will understand you. You people can build up your life together. You people can make a solid foundation. That is why I prefer to marry a poor man for love, so that we should start together. God will put hands and strengthen us.
I think I'll marry a poor woman for love, because love is that which will stay when every other thing is gone. Finances might leave, money might leave, but if the love keeps you people glued, I think you'll stay forever.
It's important for us to get married for love. Everyone will want to get married for love, but we'll not also go and get married to somebody that will starve or suffer. So I think love grows. If you can see a rich man that is caring, and that, I believe a woman's love grows in respect to care. So if they care very well for you, I think that love will grow. So I will not say I'll go and get married for love without something that will put food on my table to suffer.
I would prefer to marry a poor man that we can live together in love, in harmony. I cannot go and involve myself to a rich man that maybe I will not have the love that I want. So I prefer a poor man, so that we can stay together in love and in peace, in unity.
You're welcome back. What would be your take on that?
We are all motivated by something to get into a relationship.
Okay.
We have different reasons for getting into relationships. And in my book, I try to point out some reasons why people get into relationships.
When she finally accepts your dating proposal, I'm talking about the red chocolate.
The red chocolate.
When she finally accepted your proposal, you guys were again confronted, with another big problem. She had to travel abroad for schooling. You feared your love would not be able to withstand the challenges that come with long-distance relationship, but you were able to handle that with success. How did you do that?
At the beginning, I couldn't believe it, but it was understanding and communication, constant communication. And seriously, it's a very difficult process to go with, and confidence in your partner. No matter what happens, there will be times that there will be doubts, there will be misunderstandings, there will be quarrels, but the most important thing is staying true to the vision. And we had a plan together, let me say, common objectives together, and we worked towards that objective. But what helped us more was communication, constant communication, understanding, and trust.
People say long distance love is a war against time, against doubt, against aching loneliness. You can name the rest.
Yeah.
But is there nothing positive about long distance relationships?
There's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of positive things to note from long distance relationships, and especially if you have experienced it. You get to concentrate on the main objective. It's not difficult. It's very difficult, first of all, to go there. But if you cope, if you understand why you get into the relationship first, your main reasons, you stick to your objectives, I think it will be a very beautiful love story after you finally meet.
Reunite.
And it's difficult. It's very difficult, but it's going to be very sweet. Meeting someone you were once close to, and conditions or something separated you guys. You had to stay behind the phone, on call, talk for long distance, for long periods of times, and then you come back to meet each other. It's special. It's very special.
And that was, you felt that special moment when you reunited
When
with
we
her at the
reunited.
airport.
Oh, my book. One of my best parts of the book. Yeah. While we reunited, made back the process. And sincerely, it was a very emotional moment.
I'm also kind of intrigued to know how you can reconcile two lives, you know, that had grown in different directions, but still learn to live in the same space. How do you reconcile that?
It's difficult too, because we are we are all excited at the beginning when you reunite. You're excited, the things that you've been you talked on phone, what we will do when we meet, we'll finally do this. When they pass, the reality starts stepping back. Now you start seeing things differently. You look at her.
The things you used to like,
You used to like
them.
the things you used to do that even annoyed you. Start seeing them back, and you realize that actually it's simple, the goods and the bads of a relationship. So, if after you reunite, it's not as if things will be perfect. You come back to your normal life as you lived before, but that you have to keep up with the same objective, knowing that nothing will be perfect in your relationship.
Okay. Let that driving force be love.
Be love, be love.
Okay. We are going to take on the shelf this time around, and of course, our resource person, Professor Nyahans, is on standby. He will continue looking at printing. We shall be right back.
As a publisher and a printer, which material do you use and what advice can you give to authors?
This does not really concern the authors. The author just wants to find a good book out there. But again, I must say that the primary material number one in book production is paper. That's what takes almost all the money. Okay? Yes. And there are many different forms of paper. There is offset white paper, there is satiny, there is glossy paper, there are all sorts of papers. Okay? But it also has to do with the type of book that you want to print and the audience. Take, for instance, when we are dealing with children's literature, children's book, they have to be coloring, and for the book to appear good in color, it must be on glossy paper, all right, so that the print and the images, the visuals will come out very well. So each book, for a novel will not definitely go on glossy paper because, first of all, it is expensive and it will be a waste of resources printing a novel on glossy paper. So most novels have been printed using ordinary paper. They call offset. It can be 60 gram, it can be 80 gram, it can be 90 gram. And some people even go in for very low quality paper like newsprint, okay, when they miss another. But again, for people who want their book published, and I must say that unfortunately, paper is being imported here in Cameroon, and paper is very expensive. And some of those good papers that you find, some books that come from the West, you find those book papers. Those papers don't even come here. They don't even sell them here. Okay? For what purpose, we don't know. Some of the papers on the 5 here are very rough. They may have the same color, but it's not as smooth as theirs. They don't import it for the reason that best known to them. Okay? So, but again, we have to make do with what we have. But I must say that there is 80-gram white paper that is most advised, even when you have to publish school books, right? In school books for the official book list or books used in schools, the government advises us to work on 80 gram offset white paper, and I think that's what we've been using. I mean, publishers around the country have been using, and the books have been acceptable.
We shall be drawing the curtains on this edition of the program in just a short while. And of course, our guest on today's show is LESLY BAYA, and we are flipping through the pages of Red Chocolate. It is a love story, passionate love story. He's young, but of course, telling a story that you and I can relate to. When you finally got married, was it the marriage that you dreamt of?
Marriage that I dreamt of.
Yeah.
The reunion was what I dreamt of.
Okay.
That special night was what I dreamt of.
Okay.
The special moment was what I dreamt of.
Looking at your story, one will point out that true love exists. But there are a lot of people who are of the opinion that true love does not exist. What will you tell them?
My book, first of all, I'm to make my readers understand that true love exists, truly exists. It depends on our motivations. It depends on our determination. Because nothing is going to be easy, but if we actually want something, we can get it. We fight the difficult moments together. We laugh when we have to laugh. We enjoy the good moments together. And we move ahead with a common objective. Believe in love, because love is everything. Love is life. Love can bring hearts together for life.
Exactly. You've just said it all. I don't even need to conclude because you've just concluded this program today. Thank you very much for coming. But before you go, tell me, when shall it be launched? Do you have plans for launching this book?
Yeah, for launching the book. Yeah, I have plans of launching the book for now, and I'm still working on that.
While waiting for the launch, can you give us a contact that anyone can call you?
Yeah. 695 15 80 34. 695 15 80 34.
It's a masterpiece, believe me. A story you pick up and you will not want to, a book you will pick up and you will not want to let go till you reach the end.
Can I add something?
You can go ahead.
I'm a filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker too. And this book is going to be acted. Okay. I'm going to bring out a very interesting film about this book. So that's the plan. So it's not about limiting it.
When you're doing the cast, call me because I like the role that the she is playing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, man. Thank you very much for watching this edition of the program. Catch you some other time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me again.